Hello and welcome to We Make the Road by Walking. I'm really excited to have our guest here today, and I'll ask her to introduce herself.
Hi, my name's Aimee Defoe, and I'm the principal at Kentucky Avenue School.
Wonderful. So, Aimee, when people ask you what you do, what do you say to them?
So sometimes I say what I just said, which is I'm the principal at Kentucky Avenue School. That's the short answer, I guess. But I feel like when I say that, it conjures up this image of whatever principal you had when you were in the 7th grade, and I feel like that doesn't really sum up my day-to-day life. So I think I'm really more of a teacher / principal / curriculum creator / vacuumer / whatever I need to do to keep this school running. So
What was your path to get to here?
So when I was a kid, I grew up in a small town in West Virginia, and there wasn't a lot to do there. But we did have a really good high school band program. And so I did a lot of music stuff. My mom was a piano teacher, and so I always was pretty good at music and encouraged in that direction. And so in high school, I played the clarinet in high school band, and I didn't really like it. And the band director was like, well, why don't you learn to play the bassoon? And I was like, okay, but I didn't really know what that was. And I learned to play it. It's a very wacky instrument. And I ended up going to college for music, where that's what I started out as. And I lasted about a semester, because once I got to college and saw, I guess, all the possibilities that there were out in the world, I felt very overwhelmed and like I had no idea what I wanted to do, that I hadn't ever sort of been presented with all the possibilities, if you know what I mean. So then I just sort of floated around trying to decide what to do for a while, and I ended up getting my undergraduate degrees in film.
This is fascinating.
Yeah, who knew? So that's what I did, and I ended up graduating from Pitt with a film degree. And then kind of went back to the music thing, and in my early 20s I played that bassoon in a rock band, and did some other music stuff. I played in a few bands and waited tables and worked in coffee shops and did proofreading on the side, whatever, for a while. And then I kind of started feeling like maybe I needed to get myself a daily life that I felt like I was putting good into the world with, and but I didn't really know what I wanted that to be. But I did at Pitt, I can't remember whether I planned to go to this exhibit or I stumbled upon it, but I saw the 100 Languages of Children exhibit, which is from Reggio Children and all about early childhood education, and very focused on learning through experience and making meaning through discussion and art and documentation. And I was just completely blown away about what I saw there and what these really young children were doing. And I was like, that's it. That's what I want to do. But I want to do that with older kids. I want to do it, with elementary school kids and be this phenomenal teacher. And so I went back to Pitt and I got an MAT and started teaching. I taught in public school in California for about a year. And then I had a couple kids, and I didn't really do a lot of full-time teaching for a few years. And I think right about that time was when No Child Left Behind happened. So I was like sort of pre No Child Left Behind, and it seemed like teaching could be this exciting, creative career where every day I'd be making up these wonderful things and having these great experiences with kids. And then that happened, and it sort of seemed like, no, I wouldn't be able to do any of that. And so that's kind of how I ended up in private independent school here at Kentucky Avenue, where I have been, I think this is I can never remember this. I don't know. It's 14 or 15 years here. No, it's 14, because it's the 16th year of Kentucky Avenue School last year. So yeah, this will be my 14th year.
Wow.
Yeah.
These conversations are so much fun because, I've known you in this professional context for a while now, and to hear about the bassoon and and film, it's fantastic. It's this great example of the paths that people have and the different directions that they take. So on that journey, are there a few essential learning experiences that really helped you to chart that course that you have been on?
Yeah, I would say seeing that the 100 Languages of Children was like a turning point in my life for sure. Maybe it kind of appeared at the right time for me to be interested in that, because I don't think at 18 I would have felt the same way, but at 22 maybe a little bit different. But so that was a big one. I think another thing that I don't think it's a moment, but it's like a trajectory of kind of learning how to learn better. Because I think when I was a kid, I was good at music. I was good at school. So it was like, you are good at music in school. And so that's sort of what I thought I was supposed to do and what I was supposed to be. And I didn't really take a lot of risks outside those areas. And I think that over time, through some experiences, some of them being those goofy playing in rock band days where I had to be up in front of people doing things I wasn't necessarily super comfortable with, and that, and just doing little incremental risk-taking activities helped me to feel like I could kind of teach myself anything. And also, I think that, well, there's been a lot of little things. So I taught art at the Carnegie Museum of Art for young children for a while, and that sort of helped me start realizing, oh, I have an artist part of me. And when I did, a long time ago, an Arts and Bots workshop at Create Labs, and I got really excited about connecting the art things I liked with the learning things I liked with computational thinking, that kind of added to my sort of feeling that I could learn anything. So I think it was like sort of developing this growth mindset over time that I didn't have as a kid. So that's not really a moment or a turning point, but it's like a long trajectory, and I think I'm still in that.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully
sure.
we're all still in that.
Yeah, I just think I'm way better at feeling comfortable with failing and messing things up and trying stuff that's outside at least a little bit outside my area of expertise than I ever was before.
Can I ask you a bonus question, since we're both educators and
Sure.
I'm curious about that? So what have you done here, because I know you have, to create that same sort of environment for the students at Kentucky Avenue?
Yeah. So I feel like you can't get kids to take the risks they need to learn if you're not willing to do it, right? So you have to be willing to say, oh, I don't really know how to do that, but we're going to figure it out right now together in this classroom. Like that kind of thing, and trying to model that all the time, I think, is a really important part of my teaching self and my principling self when I'm modeling what kind of teacher I think people should be. I think that's a really huge part of it. I think also just being willing to let kids come up with ideas and then work them through the process of facilitating how they would get to wherever they want to go with it, whether it's a product at the end or just the process of doing something. I think being willing to let them have a lot of agency in that helps them to realize that they have a lot of agency in that, and you can give them those opportunities, and they learn so much more from that than they would in any other way, I think.
Yeah. No, and
Yeah.
I of course agree 100%.
Yeah.
So where do you see your path taking you next?
So, well, there's infinite stuff to do right here at Kentucky
Yeah.
Avenue School. I'm working on continually improving what we do, and I want to keep doing that. It's really, one of the things I do here is some of the maker education component of what we do, and I'm super excited about connecting computational thinking with literacy and helping kids make whatever they want to make that can hopefully help solve problems in the world down the line, or just turn them into the kind of problem solvers that will allow them to do that in the future. And I would like to help other teachers be able to do that, so possibly working on some professional development stuff or some curriculum things. Those are all things that are always turning around in the back of my mind for whenever I have time.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate getting the chance to talk with you, and I learned new things about you, so
Sure.
thanks so much.
Thanks so much for having me.
We Make the Road by Walking is a project of City of Bridges. Check us out at www.cityofbridgeshighschool.org. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe and give us a good review. Talk to you next week.